Anchor Church, welcome to Going Deeper. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with these weekly videos, it's simply a chance to take Sunday's content, add some questions or some thoughts to consider to make Sunday's content more applicable to your personal life. What do we do with Sunday's content to put it into action? You could listen to this by yourself or watch this video by yourself, but ideally you have a conversation with somebody. We truly believe that we grow best when we grow together. So who could you have a conversation with these questions in your life? Someone you live with or a friend of yours would love for you to have a conversation with them. We continued this week our series on He is Worthy. And lately we've been talking about expressions of worship. We talked about physical expressions, we've talked about verbal expressions, and today we talked about engaging with emotional expressions, that we are emotional beings, and God designed us with not only the ability to have emotions, but with outlets to express these emotions. And so we're going to talk about those, give you a little bit of some questions to consider and ponder here today. The first thing I want to ask you, even on a simple level, is have you ever had your emotions sneak up on you? Doesn't have to be a spiritual answer, but have you ever been in a certain setting or watching a certain movie or listening to a song or seeing a view, whatever it is, and those emotions just sneak up on you? If you have, tell a story about that. And then maybe taking that to the next level, in worship, have you ever had your emotions kind of sneak up on you, where you're not just singing and you're not physically expressing, but there is emotions coming up inside of you as you're in the presence of God, and you find yourself engaging emotionally in worship. I believe this is a gift from God to engage with Him and to let that pressure of what's happening on the inside be released to the outside. We talked about being emotional stewards. How oftentimes we could find ourselves like in situations where we feel emotionally manipulated, or in the church world, because we don't want to emotionally manipulate, sometimes we'll totally be absent from emotions, which I don't think that is healthy either, that we are emotional beings, and whenever we're in relationship with someone and we care about someone, or we got anything going on in our lives, that we express via emotion. So we want to engage with God emotionally, but we want to be good stewards of those emotions. So the question I want you to consider is, spiritually and in even a corporate worship setting, what does emotional stewardship look like? Would you just consider that? How does it look to be expressive in your emotions, yet be a good steward and behave in a way that is beneficial to all and not be manipulated or not abstain from emotions, but to engage in a way that is stewarding our emotions well? The next question I kind of want to ask you has to do with waiting. We talked about various expressions of releasing our emotions through shouting or crying or laughing, but we really landed on this emotional expression of waiting. Sometimes when we just have a moment of awe and of wonder, the way that we respond to that feeling of awe is just being still and considering, looking, waiting, watching. And I believe this is a way that we don't often engage or don't engage enough when it comes to worship. So I want to just ask you on a service level, how difficult is it for you to wait? I know some people are naturally more patient or less patient than other people, but how difficult is it for you to wait on somebody or to wait for somebody? Now, we really believe that God is deserving of our waiting, that He is someone valuable enough that we would take time to say, you're more important than my schedule, than my agenda, and we are going to wait on the Lord. We talked about this verse in Isaiah that says, those that wait on the Lord will renew their strength. That if you're feeling depleted, if you're feeling weak, if you're feeling insufficient, that strength is found and restored inside of you when you pause and you wait in the presence of God. So my final question and challenge to you this week is, when will you schedule a time this week to engage with the presence of God and then wait? Maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's a whole hour where you just find yourself in the presence of God and you're not working and reading and studying and listening. You're just waiting in the presence of God as a way to show reverence and awe and wonder. That sometimes worship is expressive and demonstrative, and sometimes it's calm and it's stillness and it's waiting. So would you add to your arsenal of how to worship this week, being still and waiting in the presence of God? Love you so much, Anchor Church. We're going to continue this series, He is Worthy, for a while, and so proud of how you're responding as a church. Love you so much. Have a great week.